something that we have to do. We don't have to. An option that's there for us when we go through unexpected loss is consistently looking in and looking out, looking in and looking out of what's working in our lives, what we're repeating, what we want more of, and what we want less of. And when we're in trauma and when we're going through unexpected loss, our behavior can be very prickly to ourselves and to those around us. Some might call it the sensation of walking on eggshells around you, or maybe you have to walk on eggshells around other people. My invitation for us is to not be so rigid in, I can't be around people who make me walk on eggshells. That energy just isn't for me. That can be there. I don't know how helpful it is, and I don't know how encouraging it is to someone on the healing path if they don't have room for air, because what I found is that there's a lot of growth that can happen in open conversation and communication, and willing to be reminded, called out of, hey, you're doing this again, and making like a plan of, oh, you're right, I don't mean to be doing that. Like I think that we forget that we're all very aware of what we're doing wrong. We want to stop doing it wrong. It's not producing an outcome we want for our life, but we get so embarrassed because we don't know how to fix it. So then we don't know how to ask for help. So today in this resilience activation and polarity is when these moments are showing up for you and you're noticing behaviors in yourself or in others that are not ideal, what do you do? Do you go to wanting to fix it all at once? Do you cut something off and do you exit and never come back? Like what is your coping mechanism? And can you take that, address it, identify it, see it over here, and then can you come into this energy of, I have space for chaos. I have space for people around me to not be perfect. I have space for myself to not be perfect. I can, in conversations with people without getting into like the trauma dumping, which that may happen, it probably will. And if it does, whoops, sorry, just like address it and bring in some lightfulness around it. And don't shame anybody for it, and don't let anybody shame you for it. Just quickly address it. And if you're in this pattern of maybe some really good things are happening in your life and then it makes you panic and then you just karate chop, put a door up, push everything away, can you let others know on the outside, hey, I really want this. It's in my behavior and my habit system right now that I'm really working on. This is probably going to show up. Can we make a plan to work through it together? Because I know that I can't fix it all in one day. Or maybe this other person, that you can begin the conversation with them. You can open up, hey, I'm noticing this. Is this your intention? And then you can say, you can come up with a plan. And then you can come up with a plan of grace too. And a plan of rectifying, because there's some radical responsibility that has to happen on your end. And so if you're the one that's having the behavior of cutting everyone out of your life when it's uncomfortable in polarized moments, you can be like, hey, I'm really sorry. That probably does not feel good on your end at all. That is not my intention. I'm trying to stop. It's beyond my control right now. And then you can you own it. You own what you are doing wrong, because sometimes we are doing something wrong and we have to be able to face that to be able to move beyond it. But if we continually ignore it and we're like, oh, it's fine. Like, we have to own how we show up in our lives, and we have to own it with the people that are important to us. And we have to also own it and clean up our side of the street for the people that, maybe they aren't going to grow forward with us. But my point is in this for you to take away today is, instead of in these polarized moments of life being severely uncomfortable, or relationships or events not working out, to pause, pull back your lens of possibility, invite in the idea of, I'm going to fail several times on my way to my goal. I'm going to slip. I might, maybe, yeah, I'm gonna go in with this with the I'm going to regress a little, because you don't know what direction you're gonna regress. And it might feel like a regression if you're evolving because it's an uncomfortable new situation. So if you can go into this with, I know I'm going to regress. Can I be okay with this? I know that on my way to getting here, I might be a little prickly still as I'm gaining the strength to stay in this new way of being, because we're here, we want to get here. And sometimes we have to do like the bow and arrow, like, okay, here, and then you go back, and then you go again, and then you go back. And just bring in that, okay, I'm building momentum. I'm trying it on. And each time I go forward, I can step back a little bit, recoup, get feedback for myself, check in how it feels inside. And then I can still be a yes, because I can know in my bones, because I have decided that I'm going to arrive here, that it is possible for me. I might not know the timeline or how or who, but it is in my clear intention of arriving to the space of being amazing in relationships and being amazing in polarized communication and being amazingly steady and in integrity with self in these situations, that I will arrive there. I want you to activate this belief, this resilient belief within your being that you can try again and again and again. And just because you messed up, or maybe you hurt somebody, clean up and rectify what you did wrong, really own it with sincere compassion. We don't get to see how they will receive it. But what we can do is keep our intentions pure of what outcome we want, and keep in mind to keep the best and highest good for all. Selfishness and our ego and self-righteousness, all of this might show up. Just say hi to it and be like, you're here. You're really wanting to control right now. Okay, I want to go there. My focus is on here. Life helped me get here, and keep that belief and just explore what life starts to deliver into your field and your experience, and make this a consistent practice of, I can have space for polarized opinions, polarized expressions, and I can have space to fail and still be an incredible human that is up to amazing things and consistently wanting to learn and be better for herself or himself and for others. This is what resilience and building it is over time. Consistency, consistency, consistency. Don't give up if you failed 10 times. I know it seems like a lot. You're making progress. You didn't go back. You didn't go back. Remember that. You're not there anymore. You have so much experience under your belt. And I know it's really uncomfortable, but you have to be a yes. There's no quitting. We cannot quit. So be a yes, and just keep opening your field to be a soft and safe space for people, including yourself, in transition, because life is consistently changing. And the way that we're going to be able to show up the best is if we're tuned into the present moment with our heart space open, and with that genuine interest in listening and deep care for ourselves and for others. Love you.